Hi everyone, so in today's Teamfight review video, I want to talk about Bard Wizard Cleric. Why is Bard Wizard Cleric so good? Why do people play it? What are the roles of each player in Bard Wiz Cleric? And after we talk about that, I'm going to review a team fight with Bard Wiz Cleric and kind of just give you a breakdown of my opinion on the fight, maybe some of the opinions my teammates would have on the fight, etc, etc. And if you disagree with anything I say, just keep in mind this is my honest opinion from what I've encountered in Dark and Darker, so you can leave a comment below on what you disagree with and your thoughts and opinions. I reply to most comments on my YouTube videos, 99.99%. So yeah, feel free to comment. So, what is the idea behind Bard Wizard Cleric? Well, in a general sense, this is the team comp as follows. Bard Wizard Cleric is centered around the identity of your wizard. This is a Protect the President comp. Your wizard is your carry. Your wizard is the one who needs to live. Your wizard is the one dealing the damage. So the Bard and the Cleric are enablers for Bard Cleric Wiz. Obviously, we can first start with the wizard and their role in the comp. So the wizard is the DPS. The wizard's like your ADC in League or your carry in games. He is the one that's going to be dealing damage. You need to keep your wizard alive. You need to peel your wizard. Wizard players need to be very careful with overextending in the space that their bard hasn't cleared. Their wizards need to make sure their bard is ready to defend them in case they get sent on. Their wizards need to utilize their spells effectively and hit their spells because they are the damage roll. If damage isn't being done, it's because your wizard isn't dealing damage. So damage is on your wizard for the most part. Obviously your bard can also deal some damage, but your wizard is going to be your main damage. And you want to keep in mind, wizard is a mid-range class. You need your bard and your cleric to enable your wizard to get into that kind of space to fight, since they don't have range like rangers do on longbow or fighters do on crossbow. They need to be close to hit their spells to some extent. Mid-range, right? Zaps, fireballs, ice bolts, lightning strikes, chains, etc. All pretty mid-range, except maybe for your projectiles. But if you're shooting a fireball from across the map, it's going to be pretty easy to block the fireball or dodge the fireball or whatever. It's a slow-moving projectile. Think of your Bard as the bouncer. Bard right now is one of the best classes in trios by far because your buffs apply to two other people, including yourself. There's no reason never to not have a Bard in your comp. It's just the best frontline in the game. It does so much more than a fighter can or a barbarian can, in my opinion. It's the best class in the game to peel. So what your Bard's role is, yeah, they're going to be the bouncer. They're going to be the protector. They're going to be the defender of your wizard. They're going to be the one to walk into the space first. They're going to be the one to box the fighter if the fighter sprints onto your wizard. They're going to be the one to box the barbarian if the barbarian savage gets on your front line, back line, your cleric or your wizard. So it's a pretty mundane role. Bards, you have to be careful of making sure that cleric is always an LOS of you. That means line of sight. You have to make sure that your cleric can see you to heal you, because when you're boxing the front line, your cleric's going to be the one that's pocketing you. You need to make sure your wizard is ready to deal DPS when you're going in, because basically what you're doing for your wizard is when you're boxing the enemy front line, your wizard, in theory, should also be boxing as well through casting spells. You need to make sure that you engage at the right time. Engaging too early in fights can be a big disadvantage for you, because remember, the whole comp is centered around your wizard. If you don't give your wizard the space and time to deal damage with their spells, it's going to be a quick fight, right? Let's say you're versing double frontline cleric, right? And you're Bard Wiz Cleric. If you W key the double frontline, it's not really going to be enough time. It's like you're going to die very fast, right? You need to make sure that in these kind of situations, your wizard cooks, your wizard gets some damage off, your wizard wastes their heals by dealing damage to the enemy and whatnot. So you need to communicate with the wizard, talk about what you're doing, calm what you're doing. You're the front line. They're going to be the one that also pressures the enemy team. Let's say the wizard hits a lot of spells, right? And they're low on heals, the enemy. You are going to W key the enemy and force an engagement, right? Because you are the front line. That's what front lines do. Clerics, your job is to pocket your bard, basically heal your bard, heal your wizard, heal whoever needs to be healed, and earthquakes. Earthquakes are so important in Bard Wiz Cleric because earthquakes are a great time waster, a great stall for your wizard to get spells off for free. Let's say you're versing barbarian wizard cleric, right? Earthquakes work so well into that composition because you can just earthquake the barbarian and your wizard gets free damage on the barbarian because they're an earthquake. It's a huge setup spell for your whole entire team. So make sure you're taking earthquake. Make sure you're healing your front line and back line. Make sure your front line is in LLS. Make sure you have your spells appropriately precasted. Sometimes you might need to precast your heals, precast your earthquakes. Make sure you're getting your buffs off. Make sure your wizard is blessed and prodded. Make sure your bard is blessed and prodded. Make sure you get the divine strike on your bard whenever they're about to go in, etc., etc. Make sure you communicate whether or not you can see the person you're trying to heal. Communicate macro decisions for your team. Your role is probably like one of the least intensive, no offense, in the game. It may be mechanically challenging because you have to hit the heals, but you have a lot of time to think about what's going on. Communicate with your team what you see. Communicate decisions you think that should be made. Communicate spells, things you notice, advantages, disadvantages, etc. Whether or not you need spells for your campfires, all that good stuff. So you can get really creative with this role. The cleric is a very versatile role. Hell, if your bard dies, you can even box in front line if built appropriately. You have a shield. You can get active, peel for your whiz if you're out of heals. Get creative with your role. Considering all this information, how can we summarize the composition Bard Wizard Cleric? Bard is the bouncer, the protector of your composition, your front line. Wizard is your DPS, Cleric is your healer. Now keep it simple, that's how it goes. I want you, when you're playing in this composition, really think about your role in the comp and how can you do your role better. How can you peel your wizard more as a bard? How can you kill your teammates better as a cleric? How can you deal more damage as a wizard? How can you guys work together to achieve better results, more DPS, more healing, more tanking, all that? Communicate and figure this out with your team. Bard Wizard Cleric is a very difficult comp to play. It's not easy. It involves 3 of the most mechanically intensive classes. Yes, I do think Bard, Wizard, and Cleric are the 3 most mechanically intensive classes in this game. Maybe besides Warlock. Warlock's also up there, but Cleric, it's really hard to hit your heals. Wizard, you need to hit your spells. Bard, you need to be able to box like a god. Hit those buckler blocks. Hit the rapier swings, right? It's all difficult. It's a very high skill ceiling comp, but it's probably one of the best comps in the game. Let me know what you guys think about what I said. If you disagree, agree. And now we're gonna get into the team fight where we have a Bard Wiz Cleric fight. The Bard, I think it's Bard Fighter Cleric. On ring south, I see a longsword fighter with a Holy Aura Bard. So the first thing that I usually do is I like to identify the team comp, as you guys saw in the last team fight tactics thing or team fight review thing. So we see that there's a fighter, we see that there's a cleric through Holy Aura, and we see that there's a bard. So using that information which we have, we can start strategizing and creating a plan versus team comp. So I want you guys to think about how this team comp will do versus our team comp and a strategy that we could use or like a game plan or something that we can use to approach this fight. So think about that for a bit and I'll come back to you guys in a second or two.
Let's send this, guys. Yeah. I got a double hit.
So what we do here is we push into range of the double frontline team, and we want, talked about earlier, Apollo to be in that mid-range so Apollo can start getting spells off, because it's very hard for Apollo to hit spells from a super far range. He needs to be in range of like stuff like zap, explosion, easy fireballs, lightning strikes, chains, etc. So what we're doing is I'm buffing up Apollo, Kenny's buffing up, we're getting Apollo into range so he can start cooking the double frontline team. So I'm assuming that you guys thought about it for a bit, how we should approach this team fight versus the fighter Bard Cleric and our Bard Wiz Cleric comp. What you're going to want to do, in my opinion, is you're going to want to take the approach of kind of kiting out this team. Earthquake goes really hard here. They really have no way to kill Apollo other than a sprint timer or double crossbow. What I mean by sprint timer is this fighter getting a good sprint on Apollo, and what I mean by crossbow is like the fighter and the Bard both crossbowing Apollo in the head or something. Apollo would have to play this really horribly for them to catch us. What I'd recommend for this team comp to do is play in tight space, play in space where Apollo has to overextend so that they can catch Apollo and gank him and hopefully catch him on a misposition or something. We also decide we want to fight here because this is a ring map, and there's not really like a lot of agency for us to take the time and let this fight go out. We want these fights to be quick because there's so many people in this lobby. I know you guys weren't able to see that, but when there's a full lobby and there's a lot of teams, you want to like deal with these fights quick. You don't want them to last too long, because the longer they last, the higher chance of a third party there is.
My crossbows. I got a double hit.
Can you see your LOS right now? I can't heal you. You're good. Oh.
Dark the cleric.
So a few things I'd like for you guys to notice. I have my heals pre-casted during some points of the fight. It's a pretty common thing to do that because there is a significant waste of time when you spend your time casting your heals if someone gets hit. So like, if someone gets hit, you have to start casting your heal. If someone gets hit and your heal's already casted, you save a lot of time and you can get more active with different spells and stuff, right? Because you're saving time. So I do that during this fight. I obviously get my buffs off before we start pushing in. Pretty basic cleric stuff. Now, what I'd like to highlight more is more of my bard's positioning. So, for reference, we kind of knew these guys weren't that geared, so this is why we played like this, but I think that our bard should have probably waited a bit before. You can see by his body language in this pause frame, he kind of walks forward a bit to begin fighting the fighter, but in reality, it's a bit risky to do that, right? Because we have range, they don't have range. So we can let Apollo cook, and then our bard Kidney could just peel for Apollo if they tried W King on him. Now, he might have saw this as a good one-on-one because the fighter is isolated, the bard is nowhere to be seen. So it's good in that sense, but still, if you had to ask me personally, I think that it would have been a bit better for Kidney to kind of stand by Apollo's side and let him cook. And then if the fighter W keys towards Apollo, yes, then he steps up because he's the bouncer, in my opinion, right? And like I said, this is from my opinion. My teammates might disagree, you guys might disagree, etc., but this is how I view it from my perspective. And I'd like to think that I have like a lot of authority and a lot of knowledge when it comes to games like this. Earthquake and Cleric in the back line.
Zapped him. Okay,
Campfire in this pocket.
Killed Bard.
Can you camp? So we finished the fight, and the first thing we want to do is get a reset and a campfire because resets and campfires, obviously, on a ring map like this where there's a lot of players, are super, super, super important. And yeah, so we get that down as soon as possible. I think fight went pretty good. There's not a lot of things really done there. That was kind of like a classic just Bard Wizard Cleric fight. Bard front lines, Wizard does damage, Cleric heals. It's very simple, and it sounds complicated, obviously, like, oh, the comp's so scary to play, but, like, it's really simple. That fight kind of perfectly highlights that.
Pop in a search.
Okay.
I'm watching. Put it in him. Okay, never mind. I'll put it down.
Can you search out? Yes, I'm sorry.
Here, watch out here. Shut door, movies. Get it all the way down this quarter. We need to get all the way down this quarter.
Come, Kenny, let's go. Kenny, let's go.
Okay.
Did you
Clear this.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you clear. We don't have to pull that mob. See that mob to our right? Don't pull this mob, Kenny. Don't pull the mob.
I'm trying not to. I gotta rebuff.
We gotta go all the way east, right?
We want them. No, we're good. If they push us,
I know a lot of you guys might disagree with me, but this is why I think Apollo's like a really, really good IGL. He knows like how to navigate these situations so well and knows how to handle them so well. So what he basically means by what he meant is, remember what I said when wizards are very mid-range? So the team that we're versing is like, it's like double Warlock Ranger or something like that. So it's like triple ranged. Warlocks are mid-range, Rangers close range. So the only way that Apollo's going to really be able to kill these guys is like if he gets some crazy fireballs and zaps off. And what he wants him to do is like, what he's basically trying to do is like he's playing this corner so that, let's think about LS for a second. If you're in that corridor in this hallway that you see, the angle at which the Warlock has to peek Apollo is like such a tight and close angle that Apollo is ready to get damage off. And think about the hallway they're in. The hallway they're in is very long. They have to kite back onto the ring. It's not a very long hallway, but they have to walk through a hallway. So if they start losing the trade at that corner that Apollo's at, that Warlock's going to have to retreat. Even through Phantom, he can get hit because fireballs and stuff. But he's going to have to retreat down this, like, hallway where Apollo has infinite LS, and then to the ring where there's, like, more infinite LS. So the Warlocks here, they get a bit overconfident, you'll see. They push a bit aggressively, and they get extremely punished. You'll see that very soon here. So, like, it's amazing. I could have maybe had, like, an Earthquake ready at the corner for when the Warlock peaked to kind of lock him down. The Earthquake goes through Phantomize. Earthquakes are amazing for Warlocks, even a Holy Strike. Kidney's not really able to do much here. He's probably going to only be able to crossbow, but this is mainly Apollo's like time to shine. Like, I mean, like I said, Apollo's like, the wizard is the main star of the comp. Like, he's going to be the main damage, so.
Wait, they're pushing. I'm one shot.
Walk forward.
I hit.
Mob. Kill him. I got ad. Heal. Heal.
Oh, I need a heal.
Yeah, heal. I had a campfire again. I'm campfiring in pocket again.
I'm popping.
I'm gonna sink. They're hitting only headshots, by the way. I'm gonna start another campfire. I'm gonna sit. Can you get out? Like, are you able to get out, Kenny, from here? I gotta get out.
We're kind of stuck.
Dragon Xerxes! Zap him! He's one shot! Direct it all!
I'm pushing! What's your dead? What's your dead?
Let me go! He's dead! Xerxes dead!
I'll get Xerxes. So, fundamentally, these guys really forgot, like, what the Warlock's identity is and, like, what the Wizard's identity is. The Wizard will always beat a Warlock if it's a short trade. Always. Wizard has way more upfront damage than Warlock. Warlocks are much more focused on sustain, drawn out fights, and long extended fights. So the Warlock, like all three of them started pushing up in like this hallway, and then like this is perfect range for Apollo to hit fucking fireballs, chains, zaps, all of this good stuff. So these guys got a bit over aggressive, and they like didn't play around the identity of their class that they should. And because they're triple range, they have no one to really pressure. This is why I really hate triple range comps, because like, yes, you can kite, yes, you can deal a lot of damage, but who is gonna like Apollo in that position? Who's gonna walk up and pressure that? You really don't have anyone. You mean you have Hydra, but like it's it's not like a barbarian or a fighter or something. That's why like the identity of Bard Wizard Cleric is so strong, because it captures all of those checkpoints. It captures the front line, captures the DPS, captures the healer. This comp, they're missing like their front line. They're engaged. They're pressure. Who's going to be the one to pressure the team when they're at disadvantage? They don't have anyone. They're all healers and they're all damaged, so. Or at least the Warlocks are healers, the Ranger can heal, but yeah, I mean, classic mistake. Like, these guys just, like, really got over-aggressive, and they pushed into space that they deemed as good. They thought they had the advantage, but the Wizard is such a bursty class, such a strong class. They have anti-healing with their spells or their perk. That is, unfortunately, all that I have for you guys today. I kind of wanted this video to be more of, like, a lecture video at the beginning. Like, the beginning of this video, the first 15 minutes, is what I wanted this video to be more focused on. And then, like, the teamfight review stuff is, like, more of a supplement. So, it's a bit shorter and not in-depth as a teamfight review, because I want to teach the fundamentals and the concept of Bard Wizard Cleric. But I really hoped you guys enjoyed this. I put a lot more effort in this compared to my first teamfight review video, because I spoke about the fundamentals of the team comp that I play more, and I kind of went more in depth. I kind of offered some more perspectives, I feel like. Feel free to leave any criticism, comments below. Come hang out with me on Twitch. Ask me any questions. Like, you guys are amazing. Like, honestly, what's been happening over this past, like, 4 or 5 months, like, with YouTube and Twitch and all that, like, I am just, like I feel amazing and so grateful for just, like, any like, comment, subscribe, anything you guys give me. Like, I am fucking grateful. Also, little bonus thing, I guess, if you've been catching up with the stream, Maid outfit, yes, it has been ordered, chat. It's coming between the 27th and the 29th of May, and then from there, I will make an announcement on my Discord. So, yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Like, honestly, thank you guys. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.